Hello everyone. Today, we'll continue our series of lectures on China's democracy. In this episode, we focus on a very important aspect of China's whole process people's democracy, democratic consultation and decision-making. We start with the story of a person named Li Dianbo. He is a village official in Dalat Banna, North China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region. In mid-August 2020, he saw that the Chinese government was soliciting public opinions online for the completion of the 14th Five-Year Plan, which sets the comprehensive blueprint for the country's economic and social development from 2021 to 2025. Going under the netizen name Yunfan, Li Dianbo left his comments on the internet platform the Message Board for Leaders, which is operated by People's Daily Online, suggesting that China build up a mutual assistance model for elderly care in rural areas. The government should invest in building public canteens and dormitories in rural areas, allowing elderly people who are willing to live together free of charge. Under this model, younger and more able seniors can look after older and frailer ones, he wrote. The advice soon received great attention from the drafting group. After holding discussions and revising the proposals several times, the group singled out the implementation of the national strategy in response to population aging as a separate category. The mutual assistance model for elderly care suggested by Li was formally written into the proposals. This suggestion came from Li's personal experience. His hometown is a small village in Shanxi province with a permanent population of over 1,200, of whom 800 were left behind elderly, including his parents. As my siblings and I are all working in other localities, my parents and neighbors often help each other in their daily lives. It was this that made me come up with this suggestion, Li said. His suggestions were eventually written into the 14th Five-Year Plan document. I was very excited to hear this news. I feel like I have had in-depth communication with the central government, Li said. Conducting solicitations online is an unprecedented move in the history of the nation's process of drafting the Five-Year Plan. It is a window into how China puts its whole process people's democracy into practice, especially in terms of democratic consultation. Democratic consultation is a key component of China's whole process people's democracy, emphasizing collective decision-making and broad participation in governance. It involves various stakeholders, including the Communist Party of China, the CPC, government agencies, non-communist parties, mass organizations, and the public in discussions and consultations to reach consensus on major policies and issues. This process ensures that diverse perspectives are considered and that decisions reflect the collective will and interests of the people. Take the above Five-Year Plan, for example. From August 16th to 29th, 2020, online solicitations received 1 million pieces of public advice. Among the participants, 28.8% were from government sectors and state-owned enterprises, 15.4% from professionals, 11% from students, while freelancers, the self-employed and privately owned businesses accounted for 9% of the total. Democratic consultation takes many forms. in making and implementing decisions on major issues concerning reform, development, and stability, and on matters bearing on the vital interests of the people. China conducts extensive consultations in all fields and at different levels through various channels, including proposals, conferences, discussions, seminars, hearings, assessments, the internet, and opinion polls. Now, let's look at the 5-year plan consultation again. This public consultation is just one stage of the whole process of democratic consultation. The formulation of the 5-year plan can be divided roughly into the following stages. Firstly, initial drafting. The CPC and the central government prepared an initial draft of the plan based on research and analysis. Secondly, consultation with non-communist parties. The draft was shared with the 8 non-communist parties and representatives from various sectors for feedback. These parties provided suggestions on areas such as technological innovation, environmental protection, and rural revitalization. Thirdly, public feedback. The draft was released for public consultation, allowing citizens, businesses, and organizations to submit their opinions and recommendations. Over 1 million suggestions were collected from the public, as reported above. Fourthly, expert panels. Specialized panels of experts and scholars were convened to review the draft and provide technical and policy recommendations. Lastly, revisions and finalization. The draft was revised multiple times to incorporate the feedback and suggestions from all these consultations. The final version was approved by the National People's Congress, the NPC, in March 2021. On October the 23rd, 2025, the recommendations of the CPC Central Committee for formulating the 15th 5-year plan for economic and social development was adopted at the 4th plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee. Like what was done with the 14th 5-year plan, it went through a process of extensive public consultation and repeated revisions, serving as an excellent example of practicing whole process people's democracy. Let's look at 2 sets of data. First, the CPC Central Committee organized 6 research teams that visited 12 provinces, cities, and autonomous regions, conducting interviews and holding a series of symposiums. They also carried out field studies in 66 grassroots units, including enterprises, communities, schools, villages, industrial parks, and open ports, interviewing more than 270 officials and local residents. Second, from May the 20th to June the 20th, an online public consultation was launched for the compilation of the 15th 5-year plan. The event received more than 3.1 million valid suggestions from the public. After careful review and summarization, more than 500 constructive and representative opinions were collated into 27 key categories. Speaking of democratic consultation, we need to understand China's multi-party cooperation and political consultation system and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, CPPCC. The system of multi-party cooperation and political consultation under the leadership of the CPC is a basic element of China's political framework. The CPPCC serves as a key element of the multi-party mechanism. As a specialized body for socialist consultative democracy, the CPPCC promotes unity, strengthens multi-party cooperation, and practices people's democracy in the process of political consultation. It reflects the distinctive features and strengths of China's socialist democracy. Problems are solved through consultation, a key component of the state governance system. The CPPCC consists of representatives from various political parties, organizations, ethnic groups, and sectors of society. Under the principles of long-term coexistence and mutual oversight, the CPC and the other parties have created a new political party system with the distinctive Chinese features and strengths. China's democratic consultation shows 4 distinctive features. Firstly, multi-party cooperation. The CPC collaborates with other political parties and non-affiliated individuals to discuss and deliberate on major policies. Secondly, broad participation. Representatives from different sectors of society are invited to participate in consultations. Thirdly, consensus building. The process focuses on finding common ground and building consensus rather than adversarial debate. Lastly, policy implementation. Decisions made through democratic consultation are implemented with broad support, ensuring smoother execution and public acceptance. To understand the essence of people's democracy, one must understand China's democratic consultation and consultative democracy, a very unique feature of China's democracy. Consultative democracy is a unique form and distinctive advantage of China's socialist democracy. In various fields and at all levels, the people participate in extensive consultations before and during decision-making through various means and methods, including proposals, conferences, symposiums, deliberations, hearings, evaluations, discussions, online activities, and public opinion surveys. Consultations relate to major issues concerning reform, development, stability, and the people's own interests. Democratic consultation has been established on the basis of solid cultural, theoretical, practical, and institutional foundations. It is a deeply rooted political tradition in China. As early as some 3,000 years ago, consultation and consensus building were already an important part of the governance of the Zhou dynasty, that's 1046 before Christ to 256 before Christ. With practices like village discussions, 乡议, and court deliberations, 朝议, institutionalizing the role of dialogue in decision-making. This tradition echoes the Confucian ideal of harmony in diversity and has continued throughout Chinese history, with scholar officials and imperial conferences playing key roles in advising rulers of successive dynasties. Here, I want to introduce you to a single Chinese word that holds a profound key to understanding how democracy works in China. That word is 商量. On the surface, it's translated as to discuss or to consult. But if we stop there, we miss its full connotation. In the West, a discussion can often be a prelude to a debate, a context of ideas where the goal is to persuade, to win, and for the best argument to triumph. 商量 is different. Its goal is not to win, but to find a way forward together. It's a process of gentle deliberation, of exchanging views not as adversaries, but as collaborators trying to solve a common puzzle. The spirit of 商量 is captured in a Chinese saying, 有事好商量, which means no matter how complicated the problem is, we can always talk it over properly. So, what makes Shangliang so unique? First, it's process-oriented. The journey of talking, listening, and adjusting is just as important as the final destination. It's about building consensus along the way. Second, it's inherently cooperative. It values social harmony. The focus is on maintaining relationships and saving face, ensuring that after Shangliang, everyone can still walk away with dignity and a sense of shared purpose. This ancient cultural principle has been scaled up to become a modern pillar of Chinese governance in a system known as consultative democracy. This operates at the highest level of Chinese society. Before a national policy, like a 5-year plan or a major environmental regulation, is finalized, a massive process of Shangliang takes place. Experts, industry leaders, local officials, and community representatives are all consulted. The final policy is often a refined product that has been absorbed insights from all sides. The wisdom of Shangliang teaches us that the best path forward is often not the one that is argued the loudest, but the one that is built together through consultation, respect, and a shared desire for harmony. It rejects the notion that democracy is solely about adversarial debates and majority rule. Instead, it champions a model of governance that is deliberative, consensus-seeking. This system posits that this inclusive and thorough approach leads to more stable, sustainable, and widely supported decisions. It is a belief that the 众人的事情由众人商量. The business of the many should be discussed by the many. In China, it is required that the decision-making process be initiated only when consensus is reached on a matter through consultation. This is a distinctive feature and advantage of China's socialist democratic politics. China's democracy is an integration of two major democratic models, electoral democracy and consultative democracy. Electoral democracy is realized through the electoral and representative mechanisms of the CPC National Congress and the National People's Congress, while consultative democracy is an important institutional arrangement for realizing China's whole process people's democracy. Consultative democracy serves as an important form of democracy in which people from all sectors engage in extensive consultations on major issues and matters of immediate concern to the public before and during the decision-making process in an effort to build consensus. The CPPCC works as a specialized consultative body and coordinates efforts to promote democracy and unity while making proposals on state affairs and building consensus.